How he gonna address Kanye West?
A lot of people gonna say what I say.
That ain't shit you mean.
Oh, yeah, it is. That shit I mean.
What up, though, man? This GX from the Foreign Magazine, man, a pulse of the culture. And today, man, we got a very, very special guest, man. Somebody who is the true definition of Detroit strength, you know, somebody that's the true definition of Detroit pride, you know what I mean? Done came from the trenches, been through the mud, only to come out like a diamond, you feel me? So today, man, we got Davontae Sanford, man, DSBA, you feel me? However you wanna play it, man. I appreciate you, brother, for sitting down with us.
You, man.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yes, sir.
You know, one day, one step at a time, man.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah.
Yes, sir. So, you know, this is our first sit down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At some point, I would love to have more sit downs with you as more life continue to go forth. You feel me?
Facts.
So
Same
being that this is our first time, you feel me? I kind of want to go back to the origin, briefly, just to talk about where you was raised, where you come from, and like, you know, how was your hood? How was your background? You know what I mean? Coming up on East 7 Mile, right? If I ain't mistaken.
Yeah. Man, it was hard, but at the same time, it was fun. Type shit, man. I had a lot of great moments. I went to Osborne over there. I did my 9th grade year there. I got locked up on my 10th grade year. It was fun, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Learned a lot. Sometimes, you know, shit was hard. You know, I didn't went without, and I done had less, and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, bro, like I would say, growing up on the East Side, it's what made me who I am today, for real.
For sure.
You know, like my character and shit.
For sure.
A lot of people be like, oh man, the East Side this and that, you know, the rap they get, but it really ain't like that for real.
And I know firsthand, you feel me? Because my pop side of the family from the East, so I was back and forth west to east.
Facts.
I feel like
here.
it ain't no different, but, you know, hey,
It ain't.
It really ain't, you know what I mean? So if we could talk about, was your mom a single parent mother? Did
Facts.
you have your pops in the household or anything like that?
I ain't had my pops. I had my mom. My mom, man, was a strong woman. She was going through a lot of challenges. Like right before I got locked up, she was in a house fire. She was in a coma for like 30 days. And, like, she had went through a lot and got out, and she was like struggling, and yeah, you know, she still tried and was there. So
yes, sir.
Can't complain.
Yes, sir. So going to just real quick, if you could talk about high school, because briefly, like you said, 10th grade, that's when you eventually ended up being incarcerated for a crime that you didn't commit.
Yeah.
So that first year of high school, and even leading up to the 10th grade year when you
man,
left,
what was shit?
It was bullshit.
Man, a lot of fighting, getting kicked out of school, getting suspended, getting arrested for trespassing, fighting everybody.
You say he was real badass for real, though. And that's what a lot of people, you know, not to cut you off, but that's another thing I kind of wanted to highlight is, you know, a lot of us know your life after, you know what I mean, being incarcerated, coming home. But what was some of the shit that you was into before you know what I mean, you ended up leaving?
In the streets or in prison?
Yeah, like
in the streets.
or just in general.
Man,
you can kind of do both.
I was a badass kid. I wasn't doing like a lot of the hardcore shit, niggas, the carjackings, the armed robberies.
For sure.
But like, best believe your window open, I'm in your shit. You know, I ain't gonna lie.
Silly.
Like, I was, you know, but I had to get it. I ain't really, like, you know, my mama was struggling. She was fucked up, you know, and, you know, we ain't had no food in the refrigerator. It's 5 of us. You get what I'm saying? But on the best days when everybody there, it's 3 of us. I'm the oldest.
Right.
You know, that's there type shit. So, yeah, man, it was shit. You know, you had to do what you had to do. You get what I'm saying? So,
Most definitely.
like, getting off into that, fighting, getting suspended. I fuck around, get suspended from school. Then by me being suspended, I don't want to tell my mama I'm suspended, so I'm
Right,
gonna get up
right.
like shit. I'm about to go to school. I'm getting up, going to school, getting caught in the hallways by the police, trespassing charges, little shit like that. Um, yeah, yeah,
So, so 10th grade, to my understanding, that day,
yeah.
you were on your way to a young lady house, and that's when they picked you up, if I ain't mistaken.
And the crime happened like if you're from the east side of Detroit on the 7 Mile. It happened on Runyon. That's by
Yeah,
State Fair.
Runyon, a legendary.
Yeah,
By the
very
way,
legendary.
Runyon is a
Third
legendary block. You
Yeah,
feel me?
third
Oh
block,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's yeah.
And I lived on Beeland, and I was actually on my way to Row. So like every single last one of them is a couple blocks apart.
For sure.
So shit, I was on my way to go sneak over her house, and wind up getting stopped by the police. And they get to ask me a whole bunch of questions like, where you live, where you stay? I'm like, shit, I live down the street. Ask me, have I heard or seen anything and shit like that. I'm like, nah.
And it's genuine shit, like really no. Like,
really genuine shit.
That's
and
crazy.
Like, oh well, we wanna talk to your parents, to this and that. But at the time, like, or honestly, like my family, like we was going through a lot. Like we was like struggling. Like my doors, like our front door didn't even have a doorknob. Get what I'm saying? Like, so that's how like you can look through our front door.
Man.
Get what I'm saying? So like you gotta understand what type of position like we was in, and tried to speak to my grandma and shit like that. Oh yeah, we just want to talk to him. She going with it, but she don't really know what's going on.
Cause she don't really know the part. Yeah,
You feel
yeah.
me? And shit, like, and her letting me go with her, that actually started like a snowball effect where next thing you know, I was being shit wrongfully charged with some murders I ain't commit. I still got to live with that to this day.
It's crazy, man. So, so bam, we want to fast forward because the information is out there.
Yeah.
In terms of you actually being picked up, going down to the precinct. You actually came back home for a second, if I ain't mistaken, and then they picked you back up.
They picked me back up.
Right.
And yeah, and they tried to lie, say they found blood on my shoes and everything like that, which was a lie. And ultimately, they got me to sign a false confession. But at the time, like I didn't learn how to read or write till I went to prison. So at the time, like I couldn't even read or understand the statement that they was putting in front of me.
Wow.
Like I was so scared because they started threatening me. They got to showing me pictures of dead bodies. Mind you, I was a badass kid, but
and by the way, you was 15.
I was 14.
14
yeah.
at the age.
So that was something I ain't never even really like seen or really had to dealt with for real. And I just wanted to go home, bro.
So when they showed you the pictures of the crime, and this was a quadruple homicide, so that means
it was six victims. Four of the victims wound up, sadly like losing their lives, and that's something I think about all the time, and especially like how it happened, just off the simple fact. I had an uncle who I got him on my channel and everything, but he wound up passing with his girlfriend, and somebody came in the house, robbed them. They shot him like 21 times, shot her 17 times. And that's something like I live with, like, to this day. And to think about me being like attached to something that can happen so heinous, shit like that, like kind of fucks with you a little bit.
Because you experience it with your people, so it's like, damn. For me to even be connected, you know what I mean, to the idea of a quadruple homicide is just crazy, for sure. So they show you physical pictures of these people who is deceased. What was the first thing that went through your body when you seen that, man?
Shit.
It's crazy.
What, I gotta get up out of here. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to get up out of here, get these people what they want so I can get up out of here. And unfortunately, me rushing up out of there, not knowing in hindsight, I was rushing myself into some more worship. Get what I'm saying? Like Whole time I'm thinking I'm getting out of something, not knowing like shit. Like, you actually, you finna go to you finna be walking in hell, right?
Crazy.
You don't even know. So
So
something like that.
so the one of the detectives wrote or drew out a fake sketch.
Yeah, of the
And,
murder scene.
and they said that you drew that sketch and they
Yeah.
used that
Yeah.
evidence
To
to
convict me.
to convict you.
And they convinced one of the witnesses who wound up surviving to basically like lie and ID me, say it was me when she knew it wasn't me, but she got on the stand and lied and said it was. And that's all they really needed, pretty much. Then
Most definitely.
And I was looking at 11 life sentences. I wound up taking a plea in the middle of trial, and that's when they sentenced me and they gave me 39 to 90 years.
So you took a plea to 39 years after
Plea.
starting trial.
Yeah.
What made you pause and take the plea instead of carrying out trial?
My lawyer and me not knowing much about the criminal justice system. Like I didn't know how to read, write, comprehend,
Right.
for real. So they saying all these big words, putting all these court papers in front of me and shit. And me and my lawyer beefing and we arguing. He really ain't got my best interest. He like, look, I'm just trying to save your life. Well, you can live to fight another day. Take this plea agreement to this and that and all this, talking crazy.
In your personal opinion, do you believe that lawyer felt like you was really innocent?
No, he didn't believe I was innocent at all. I just think it was a money thing to him. He didn't believe I was innocent.
So now you get sentenced to 39 years.
Yeah.
You 15 years old.
Yeah.
You go to, if I'm not mistaken, Jackson. You know, everybody go through Jackson.
I was at Jackson for like a week. Then from Jackson, I went to Lapeer.
Lapeer.
Yeah.
Thumbs. Young boys are wild.
Yeah.
What was some of your experiences and your feelings when you actually started doing the time, the real time?
I did a hard time type shit. I ain't gonna lie, I did. Out of my 9.5 years, like 1,000 misconducts, like 4-5 cases, solitary confinement, lay down stretchers, STG2 type shit.
And if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Cause that's
It taught me so much. My time, I learned how to read and write in prison. Started writing poetry. I ain't gonna lie. Like when I first went to prison, a lot of the problems I got into was because of like, I gang banged when I was in prison, so that's why I got my name Badass. Being one of the youngest guys on the yard. Then at the time, I was in a hole, and cause I got into it with a guard. So a guard said something to me, and I ain't know. So I tell the guard like, I beat your ass. Me not knowing that's a threat behavior. So I tell the guard like, man, I beat your ass.
They
bro.
them quick. Like they ain't wasting no
so
opportunities.
So he like, what? Who you talking to? The whole time he didn't press the panic button on me. So I'm young. Next thing you know, I just see guards get to running from everywhere. Cuff up. Like what? I'm like, threatening behavior. You just threatening the camera.
Threatening behavior.
So I had to learn the ropes. And then I went to the hole for a fight. Probably like my third week there, got into a fight.
So let me ask you a question. Do you feel like being wrongfully convicted, though you dibbled and dabbled and did your shit in the streets, but do you feel like actually getting that conviction, 39 years, do you feel like that damn near turned you savage a little bit? Like that made you turn up a little bit in prison?
Shit, you ain't have a choice. You're going to be a wolf or a sheep.
No doubt.
Like in prison, like, ain't no such thing as like compassion and like being able to express and show your feelings. And it ain't, you around a whole bunch of wolves. Show your feelings if you want to, you're going to wind up on that menu.
For real.
So it's a certain type of masculinity and certain type of way you got to carry yourself in prison in order like to survive and have like a clean name.
For sure.
And you being emotional ain't one of them, my nigga. So hell yeah, like you really like, you really gotta like turn up in that motherfucker for real. Like if you want to survive for real,
definitely.
You get what I'm saying? So,
definitely.
Yeah.
So you mentioned like you said you was gang banging. You from 7 Mile.
Yeah.
So we already know for the most part, you feel me, what
Yeah.
what you know what I mean? What was your process of coming into that? Like what was the landscape? Now back in the day, a lot of people said that religions ran the yard, but as of maybe the last 10 years, I'm gonna go on the record undoubtedly and say the Bloods run the
Facts.
yards, and that's
Facts.
a fact.
Any yard you step on, Bloods, we gonna run that yard.
That's a fact.
That's just, and it's not even like trying to like talk crazy. It's just the shit, the work niggas put in speak for itself type shit. You know what I'm saying? Some of the top most respectable guys, like my big homie B-Rat, like, niggas solid. Like, and when I came in, like I went to Lapeer. So like Lapeer was kind of like, it was kind of like broke up because it was like, it went from like what hood you was from.
Right,
And it was
right.
a lot of bullshit going on at the time between, different hoods and shit like that. So me being from 7 Mile, actually I'm from the east side, I'm from 7 Mile, okay, well, you got to go over there and you got to be this. You can't be nothing else and wasn't no in between.
So they was dictating pretty much where you,
yeah. So a lot of my
damn
homies,
near like the feds, kinda.
yeah. So a lot of my homies, when they was getting locked up and shit, we was in juvenile together. Boom. By the time they make it to Lapeer, shit, most of them was B-dogs.
Right.
They was from the east side.
Right.
Somehow, you gonna be a lord, you gonna be a blood type shit.
For sure.
You couldn't be nothing else. And when you was something else, that's because you came from the streets like that.
Right.
And wasn't you became no. So, shit, it went like that, and yeah,
Most
pretty
definitely.
much. Hell yeah.
So briefly, if you could like maybe explain without going into too much detail, the politics even within the Bloods. You get what I'm saying? Because you got HB, you got it's so many different sects, but on the yard they all come together.
I got a little story behind that, right? Like when I first came down, I was this set called 7 Deep Life. He's one of the biggest sets at Lapeer. I swear to God, like anybody who was at Lapeer around this time, like 08, 09, shit, they'll tell you like we was one of the thickest sets on the yard, right? But the thing was, we was like one of the largest groups on the yard. But when we would ride out to other prisons, claiming 7 Deep and Deep Life, they would be like, what set is this? What what's y'all literature, history, and all that? And a lot of the stuff at Lapeer was like watered down,
right?
With a little bit of everything making up. So, cause we didn't really know like that, right? So, we was like one of the thickest. Boom. What happened was, I wound up riding out. I went from Lapeer to MR. I went to MR. When I got to the yard, I'm 7 Deep. I'm holding it down everywhere I went. Everybody know. By this time, everybody know Lil Badass. They ain't ringing. That's 7 Deep, Lil Badass. Boom. So I wind up going to some stuff happened at MR or whatever. They wind up murder she riding me out and stuff. I wound up getting STG2. Wind up going to IMAX. By the time I got to IMAX or whatever, find out like my big homie who was 7 Deep, he wind up converting and shit like that. And when he converted, I'm like, man, what? Okay, we shoot words. And he was like, shit, either you can convert to what I am, or shit, you can just go do your own thing type shit. And like by this time, like the politics was like crazy. It was just deep and shit. So I'm like, shit, like I'm a blood, I'm a stay blood, this and that. So I wind up, and it was crazy. I had some of my homies mad at me. Like I wind up, you know what I'm saying, like going with the homies. I wind up becoming like Pyru, you feel me? So, and it was crazy because I had homies that was from the east side mad at me. That was 82, like, bro, you from the east side. Right. You supposed to be 82, bro. How you gonna be?
What made you make that decision instead of the traditional, you feel me? Was it the way they was moving? They was moving different, or you just wanted to have them real roots from Cali?
I love, like, I fuck with a lot of like 82 guys. I love them guys. Cause like me personally, like I don't see no, like other guys do though. for me personally, I don't see no difference. In
Right,
blood.
right.
I feel like shit, blood is blood. Like
Most
212 is 212. I don't, I don't look at it like, oh, you this, you that. But some guys do, which is crazy. But like for the most part, like, um, it was my big homie, me and him having like multiple conversations, and like I I I shit like I like the direction that he was taking the set in.
Most
You know
definitely.
what I'm saying? And I felt like it wasn't too many of us on the yard. It wasn't too many guys being able to scream 4-5 Mafia. So I took
That was like an honor.
yeah. So just that alone, and like like me being nigga, I'm being brought in by like the big homie, the homie who started this shit. So that was like another thing. Like I wasn't being brought in by like another like I'm being
For sure.
so yeah, like I couldn't deny that, especially like who it came from his name. Like it was an honor for me for real.
And for the record, man, if people don't know what SG 2 is, if you could explain what does it mean to, you feel me, be
shit,
STG?
STG2,
Yeah.
that's serious threat group. So they got one is like associates, things like that. But like 2, that's automatic level 5, lockdown, 23 and 1. You get about 6-7 motherfucking searches a week. They hitting your cell every week.
Straight harassment,
Man,
24/7.
bro, like you get like 5 phone calls a week. I think you get like 3 visits a month. But for like 7 years, they took my visits, so I couldn't get visits for like 7 years. Like my whole 9 years in the joint.
What was
on
that like?
visits.
So you ain't see Mon Dukes, you ain't see.
The only time I was only able to see my lawyers, but the only time I was able to see like my family and shit is like when I was fighting my case and they would ride me out on writs to the county jail. At the county jail, the visit restrictions didn't apply because like I was in the county. But when I would ride back out to like the state prison, that's when it would go into effect. So that shit was hard as hell for real. To get once my visits got approved, and I'm all the way in IMAX. That's 2.5, 3 hours away from the city.
Right.
Type shit. But my mama made it happen. So
Yeah. Shout out to Mon Dukes for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So fast forward, hard time. You making the best out of it. You moving, doing what you do. Built a name, built a reputation for yourself in prison, amongst the wolves. Like I always tell people, man, for you to survive prison without no smut on your name, that's a big thing. That's
bro,
huge. You feel
Let
me?
me tell you something, bro. Because in prison, ain't no 30 rounds, ain't no Dracos. You gotta move,
Straight up.
carry, and conduct yourself in a manner with like not saying you gotta be the toughest or the craziest.
sure.
But bro, you gotta carry yourself like a real legit man. Just like a man, bro.
No doubt.
No, just carry yourself like a man. You feel me? Like, and a lot of guys don't know how to do that, especially in the streets. So when they be carrying themselves out here reckless and shit, then they go to the joint thinking they can do it, then they wind up losing eyeballs and kidneys. They be wondering.
Real
like,
talk.
shit way different, bro.
What's the craziest shit you seen in prison in terms on a violent tip? Maybe a stabbing, maybe
I done seen some stabbings. I done seen some stabbings.
Give us one if you could remember one specifically that stand out to you.
A stabbing that stand out.
Or anything. It ain't got to be just a stabbing,
No,
but
real
something
shit.
crazy that you.
This shit, some shit happened. And a guy got towed up. They shot him up, shot his ass up.
Hey, that's crazy how we use terms.
Yeah,
Shot him
they
up.
shot him
We
up.
talk about stabbing
Yeah,
too, though.
they
but
wind up shooting him up. Boom, 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 boom. So usually, when the guy gets shot up, if he a hoe or he's scared, he gonna run. He gonna instantly go lock up or whatever.
he ain't locked up.
If he ain't lock up,
Shit.
they shot him up. Boom, 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 boom. So we step in the chow hall. So I'm in the chow hall and shit. All the homies in the chow hall. So as I get to the chow hall, at this time, like I'm at MR, I had the yard type shit. Like I ain't shit but like 18.
That's
like
big.
Yeah, I'm like 18 and we
That's
on
big.
yard. Thugging type
That's
shit.
big,
like,
bro.
So I'm calling in the yard at the time. And the homies come and shit, get a word and shit for everybody. Get a signal like shit done type shit. Cool. So one of my homies tapped me. while we in the child line, like, look at dog. He coming there wrapped up, towel and everything wrapped around. And got his hat pulled down, jacket on, hands in his coat.
Business.
I said, he was supposed to shy him to the river.
He come to stand
Right?
on something. You
I
hear
said, he
me?
supposed to shy him to the river. And next thing you know, and shit, by the time like we get our trays and make it to the table, niggas sit. So everybody looking, we looking at the homies, like get on point type shit. He done took that quick, wind up like, man, shit got crazy.
That's crazy. That's
That
crazy.
shit
It be
got
like
crazy.
that though, cause
That shit
every
got crazy.
like you say, for the most part though, a
Heard
person will
homie
lock
like,
up,
yeah,
but
niggas that
it's
bitch
rare.
screaming.
Yeah.
Come up, get this bitch out of my eye.
Damn. Yeah.
Come on, get this bitch. Talking about, I swear, I'd never forget that shit. Like screaming, like my eye.
Get this bitch out my eye.
Get this bitch out my eye.
That ain't
shit was
it
crazy.
ain't funny, man. But you know, at some point, man, when you see that, you know, so much, you kind of get immune to it a little bit.
Then and there, like it be different because it's like you got niggas who will shoot some shit, but turn around and get shot up. Just because you a shooter don't make you like bulletproof in that bitch.
For sure.
Like I done seen like some of the top shooters get like
For
they
sure.
fucking lights shot out in front of them type shit.
For sure. For
You
sure.
feel me? Like
For
yeah,
sure.
that shit, man. Like
So all right. So boom. Now, you know, you do your time or you doing your time.
Yeah.
At what point, if I'm not mistaken, maybe like 2 weeks after you was convicted, the hitman that actually committed the crime that you was convicted of confessed to the murders.
Yeah.
And yet you still sitting in prison.
I couldn't even believe it, bro. Like I couldn't even believe it. Like I ain't even believe it. And like I ain't even know who he was or nothing. And it was crazy. And like till I met him, like he had to introduce himself to me for me to know who he was, type shit.
Hold on. You actually met this guy like face to face, man?
Yeah.
I'm saying, how that come about?
It was crazy.
Y'all was at the same joint?
No, right?
Okay.
By the time me and him made it to the same joint, they had him locked, and it was crazy. I'm gonna tell you, he was locked up in level 5 just because of the amount of murders he had. They wouldn't let him leave level 5. I wound up getting into a riot at MR, right across from IMAX, right? They wound up STG2 and me.
Sending you to level 5.
Right? And they had to take him out of the level, because no, that's the only lower level 5 they got. So they couldn't emergency ride me out to Barracks because they put me on emergency ride out. So instead, they emergency rolled me out across the street and just switch.
Right.
Take him out of level 5, put him in there. Either one on some bullshit. And but before the end, I was in a county jail on writ, and they put me and him in the same cell together. And I ain't even know who he was and shit. He had to introduce himself.
He knew who you was?
Yeah, he knew exactly who I was. We get to kicking it, and I'll never forget. He get to showing me pictures and shit of his family, his wife and shit. We get to kick it, having like.
The whole time you don't know who he is while he's showing you this.
By that time,
okay,
you know,
okay.
he like, you know who I am? I'm like, nah, nigga, who is you, nigga? And shit, and I'm like, nah, bro. He like, I'm Vincent Smothers. I heard the name, but actually putting a face to him, I'm like, what the fuck? That's you? You the one? Because I done heard all these stories and shit. I'm like, what? And we get to kicking it. And I would say, dog, you know, he gave me a lot of good advice. Because, like, at this time, like, you know, I was going back and forth to court, but they was never bringing up the murders, or they was never bringing up the fact I was innocent. Every time I'm going to go back to court, you know, the only thing they would bring up was my gang affiliation and the fact I'm in prison fighting, I'm catching cases, I'm stabbing people, this and that's the only thing they were really, like, had on me. Like, his name's Little Badass. He run with the Bloods and this, like, so he would tell me, like, man, chill out. Like, man, go home, man. You know, like, chill out. Like, you wilding out, man. Stay out of shit up there.
If I may, while y'all was in there that time, during that time, did he confess to the murders by then, or
Yeah, he had confessed by the end and everything.
Right,
And he
right,
told
right.
me, he like, man, they know I did it. And he like, bro, like, man, like, bro, you getting out, you coming home, man. He told me that out of his own mouth.
that's real?
And sometimes I would see him in the county, cause our name both was S's, and we had visits on Thursdays. So like, if we was on the same pile, like when I was in the infirmary and shit, I see him. You know what I'm saying? A visit, he'd be in visitation with his people. I'll be in visitation with my people and shit like that. You know, so yeah.
Okay, so now it's leading up to the time where, you know, you actually starting to really get momentum and really starting to get the news that it's going from a low to a high possibility that you will be coming home. You know, just through, you know, knowing your story. You've been hearing that the whole time during your bit for the most part. So at some point, even with you hearing it, you was like, man, it's just another.
Man, they was telling me, oh, your 17th birthday, oh, your 18th birthday, oh, this next court date. Shit was coming and going. And, yeah, shit was coming and going, man. And the Valerie Newman, the Innocence Project, and the Center for Wrongful Convicted Youth wound up taking my case. And shit was history from there.
That's what's up.
You know, I didn't even know I was going home the day I went home. Shit happened so fast.
Yeah.
You know,
say camera people outside, all type
bro,
of shit.
I wound up, they rolled me to Marquette. So when I got to Marquette, I was still STG2. So this is the thing, when you STG2, anybody that's STG2, right? And I want people to hear this. All them young guys, man. If a guy say he was STG2 and he's no longer STG2, right? And he signed papers and stuff like that. He cooperated, right? In order to get off STG2, you got to debrief. So they give you like this thick ass packet. Man, it's like 60, 70 pages. You got to tell them people everything.
Everything.
Like what's going on, who doing what. Like they want to know everything, right? I was SGG2. I didn't want to debrief. I'm like, nigga, I don't gangbang no more, bro.
Right.
Well, debrief. I'm not debriefing.
Right.
Bro.
I'm just telling you,
Yeah,
I don't.
You know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But by this time, you know, my homies and them, I was in a position to where like I really didn't have to do nothing anymore. On top of that, something was going, and you know, they like, bro, next time, whatever, you get violated for anything you do, type shit.
Right.
So I couldn't do nothing.
So for the record, you know, why the way people may look at Bloods or different gangs, it ain't all negative.
Hell no.
You know what I mean? You got people that really love you and really that care for you, and you saying they told you they'll violate you if you didn't do what you was supposed to do to come home.
Fact.
That's real.
I was so ready to go, I'm like, nigga ain't, like, didn't nobody have to tell me to go put in work. Like, when I took that oath, I knew what was my obligation was, shit like that. So I moved in a certain way to where the homies like, yeah, he one of the one. You know, so when certain shit pop off, even when I had, you know, rank or whatever, I'm still front line. Like, nigga like, what?
That ain't even how that's supposed to be.
Some guys get their rank and they go put up, feet kicked up. That ain't me. I'm down here with the homie. Like, this is what it is. You feel me? So they like, bro, whatever you do, you get violated to this and that. And I fell back. So they rolled me to Marquette. The SDG coordinator seen me and shit like that. And I'm like, shit, like, you know, I don't bang no more. And he like, what? You don't bang no more? I said, no, I don't bang no more. He like, so why you ain't get stabbed yet? I said, man, nobody gonna do nothing to me, bro. Nobody gonna stab me.
That's crazy. See, he know how it's supposed to,
so
traditionally how it's supposed to go.
He like, what? I said, man, nobody about to do nothing to me. I said, I'm good, bro. He like, so B-Rad just gonna let you do that? I said, yeah. But they don't know. Nigga, B-Rad, like, this like my big bro for real. Like, we talking every week. This nigga send a letter. My mama know who he is. She know this is the big homie. But when he called, that's big bro. So she delaying messages. Like, well, your brother said, you know, he homie, man, go home. We want you up out of here, man. This ain't for you. Get up out of here. So he trying to push me out the door. He making sure I'm straight and everything. And they wind up. He like, man, if something happened, we don't want it on us. They wind up going to talk to my homie. And he like, yeah, we gave the homie a pass. He good. He can walk any yard he want to. We ain't doing nothing to him. He didn't put work
That's
in.
love.
Like he good. You know, I'm going on honorable. You
For
get what
sure.
I'm saying?
For sure.
And when that happened, he like, damn. He like, man, like that. Yeah, you must.
Yeah.
I'm yeah, man. And they put me on the yard there. I was at Marquette and shit on the yard, chilling, cooling. Next thing you know, they wind up, they're like, man, we gonna put your STG paperwork in and shit and see. Next thing you know, they wind up putting me on a ride out. They're like, man, you getting rolled up? I'm like, where I'm going? Send me to the creek. Then from the creek, when I got to the creek, I wind up going outside. First thing I do, every day I used to call my bird. That's before I checked in and everything. They know, nigga, be on the phone calling his mama. And I'm probably doing three-way calls with some of the homies, so they really ain't tripping. I went out there, called my mama. She picked the phone up, crying and everything. She like, baby, you about to get out. I'm like, what? She like, baby, you about to come home. I'm crying. And she like, I'm about to tell your lawyer. Hold on. Put my lawyer on the phone, and that's when they was like, you know, like it's a possibility and shit.
That's what's up.
And it wouldn't have been possible, but like I appreciate it because I had like some supporters. Like I had 3 like misdemeanor charges or 3 assault charges that wound up being like misdemeanor charges. They wanted me to go to the county jail and do all this extra shit, but I ain't have to do that because like, you know, like they made sure I was straight. So like that was pretty dope.
No, that is, man. So you walk out them gates. Man, what was that feeling? That very first step out.
And man, that shit was amazing. That shit was amazing. Everything I do in life, like I go and I think back, like, bro, I'm so blessed.
For sure.
You know, I try to use my platform and my voice to like, you know, let these young guys know, man, listen, dog, it ain't shit in there. Ain't shit there, dog. You know what I'm saying? And not even like on the joking matter. I know y'all love perks. Ain't no perks in there, man.
Real talk.
Ain't no drinking
You
there,
say
man.
nothing to get high for real.
Ain't nothing, bro. Like, man, like, I know so many guys, bro, they wish they would go back, bro. That, you know, change it. Like, quit rushing to that motherfucker, man.
No doubt.
Y'all rushing to some bullshit. Y'all, bro, if you want to go to prison, my nigga, you want to know what it feel like, just take your TV, the smallest TV in your house, take it to your bathroom. There you go. There you go, bro. Take the smallest TV in your house and take your TV
bathroom.
monitor, nigga. Take your computer monitor and take it in your bathroom, bro.
For real. And that's one thing I will say,
You know
that I commend you on and for is that, you know, since coming home, I've watched some of your interviews. I've watched, you know what I mean, you know, some of your conversations, and you always stressing, you know, like positivity and trying to prevent people from.
Man, let me
you know
tell
what I
you
mean?
something, dog. I be wanting to cry, believe it or not, dog. When I see a lot of these young guys going and just giving their life to the system, bro, like I'm a blessing, bro. Like, and I'm thankful for that. But I know guys that's innocent, who ain't as fortunate as I am, who ain't got the support that I got with the mama and shit. Like, I know guys, bro, that sound fucked up who probably gonna die in prison. But when they get out of prison, they gonna be so fucked up to where, like, they not really gonna understand or quite know for real, bro.
Yes, sir.
I went through it.
Yes, sir.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Cause that's just like, even, you know, shout out to my brother Marvin Cotton. He did 20 years for a crime that he didn't commit, and you would be surprised how many people.
Good brother too, man.
Good brother.
Good brother. I mean? Good brother, man.
Yeah.
He got a book out too, man.
Yeah.
Go cop that.
For sure.
I believe it's Better Than Love.
What is it? Better Not Broken.
Better Not Broken. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He got a fire book out.
Yeah, man. So, okay, so now you home. You get to reconnect with your family. You have a son named after you.
Yeah. I named him after me, bro, because like the day and age we live in, he gonna always be able to go back and see, boy, you don't supposed to be here.
Absolutely.
You know,
Right.
Davontae Sanford, yeah, look, that's you. That's where you come from. You get what I'm saying? We ain't gonna never lose that. That's why I am who I am. That's why you is the way you is. And that's why
That's
you gonna
legacy.
go in. That's legacy building.
For sure.
At its finest.
For
So,
sure.
you know, just trying to show him.
And being a father, what would you say one of the biggest lessons or something that, you know, being a father changed you? And what way did being a father change you?
Many ways. But I would say, like, for the most part, it changed me and just, like, my overall, like, living situation, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You know, and it ain't all about me now. I got something now. Versus where, you know, it was all about me now. Shit, I got the son. I gotta make sure he's straight, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. That I done been through so much, and shit, I feel like I done beat the streets. I done beat the system. Now I done felt like I got enough knowledge and wisdom in me to
That's a fact.
to make
That's a
something
fact.
so crazy.
That's a fact.
Like, I'm not the
You
one.
can build a giant. You hear me?
I ain't the one they got to worry about.
For real.
Don't worry about me. I'm
that
over
one.
it. It's
Real
over
talk.
with.
Real talk.
You know,
Problem.
man, listen, man. Believe it or not, like I tell like the mother of my child, like my baby mama, I tell her this all the time. Like, bro, I'm building my son to be like the next council member and mayor of the city of Detroit, bro. Like he already speaking 2 languages, English, Spanish. Like my son finna, like, he gonna be one of them. My time, like, you know, it's over with.
Man, I gotta commend you for that, bro. Like, because in the black community, what I feel like we don't do enough is we don't groom what we need.
Right.
So, like, what we need in the community, we need lawyers. We need, you know, councilmen. We need counsel. Why not groom them from there?
Man, listen, it's all in his name. His name is everything. It's all in the name.
For
man.
sure.
And now it's up to you.
For sure.
I didn't did it. I'm still doing it. I know it's a little more I gotta do, but a couple more years is up to you. And I feel like I'm leaving them something shit worth it. You get what I'm saying?
No doubt.
You know, not only a name, but like shit, a story. It's how you said, like Detroit. Come on, man, like resilient. Rose from the ashes. You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of people thought Detroit was like over with.
Yeah,
they watched this something like,
yeah.
Look at us.
Yeah.
We the shit now.
Yeah. How you feel about the state of Detroit right now? Like you know where we at musically.
Man,
you see the movies. You
bro,
see everything going on.
I got some stuff I'm definitely working on. Like I got my Canada strand I'm working on. That's, you know, Michigan thing, Murder Mitten.
Yeah.
Detroit theme. So it's a lot of different things. Like I love it. You know, I love the city, but all honesty, if I could see something in the city change, I say, man, these reckless and like senseless ass shootings. We need to like tighten up on that. Like, man, tighten up on these shootings, bro. Like, especially like in places and areas where shit like shouldn't be happening downtown. We should be able to go down there.
Yeah.
Bro, like, cause there's so many cities, like, you know, that you can go to.
And you ain't got to worry about that downtown.
And it's crazy. Houston, jury on, feeling good in the wind. You know, not a problem for the most part.
Say
you know,
here, different story.
I wasn't there. I don't. And like I'm from Detroit. I don't.
And so that's another question. You know, of course we won't disclose the number, but now that you know you in this new chapter of your life, you know, I know it's a lot of new people coming around. I know it's a lot of, you get what I'm saying? I know it could be a little like, how have you been managing, you know, not being, you know, just that whole scenario? Like, how you been managing that, your new life?
I'll say sometimes in order to catch a fool, you got to play a fool, right? And I would say, shit, live for you. Live for you. Sometimes you got to be selfish and shit. I didn't went through it. the ups, the downs, all that. You know,
That gotta be tough. I ain't mean to cut you off, but that gotta be tough though
yeah,
to be selfish in the position that you in, and now you got family members
man. But
talking down on you. You
you
got
know, I ain't gonna lie. I like right now, right? I got people that hate me, can't stand my guts, and the only reason being is that I got more than them, and I done probably done told them no.
Mm.
But go ask them how many times I done
told
them
him,
yes.
yeah, that's crazy.
Get what I'm saying? Ain't nobody ever been around me and ain't never felt or like something.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
You gonna get something. You gonna
Yeah,
walk
for
away
sure.
with something. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know, they don't be enough for people. You get what I'm saying? And shit, that's cool with me. Cause at the end of the day, you know, when I'm laying in my bed, I can sleep better knowing at least I tried.
Real
Versus
talk.
shit, I ain't do nothing.
For
You get
sure.
what I'm saying? But shit, you can't carry people, bro. At the end of the day, I look at it like this. You know, a lot of people around me grown adults. You get what I'm saying? So, shit, I'm not finna take care of grown adults.
Real talk.
I got a son to take care of. You get what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to like certain people, my mother, my brother, sister, shit like that.
Yeah, that's an
totally
obligation.
different.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But like,
They done gave you more than what you could ever. Yeah.
facts. But like, other people just around, just nah, man. Like,
You gotta
nah.
earn your keep.
Facts. Like that shit. Can't.
For sure. So if you can, I know you got a lot of stuff coming up. I remember you speaking on, having like a transportation company that you've been.
My prison transportation.
Yeah.
I'm actually finna get that back going, man. Family's broken transportation, and I had it going, man. It was going pretty good. Then I stopped around like COVID, and COVID hit. Then they shut off all the visitations and stuff like that. So right now, visitations about to be getting back up. Like so, like
Pick
that's
it
something
back
like
up.
I'm at. Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
other business ventures that you got that you want the
Man,
people to be looking out for?
Shit, I got Airbnbs.
That's what's up.
I got the cannabis strand. I got the YouTube with the vlogging.
Yeah, I seen you with Charleston White, man. I seen
Yeah.
you know what I
And
mean?
another thing, man. Let's get something straight. Like, a lot of people be like in my DM. A lot of people be in my comments. Like, how can you do that? I lost respect for you. He's a rat. He's this. He's that. Listen, man. Whatever another man eat, don't make you shit.
Real talk.
That ain't got nothing to do with me,
Sure.
man. I understand, you know, other people got to have opinions and different things like that. I totally respect them, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. Or honesty, I know how I move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
and,
business.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people, you know, just
a lot
to
of
add
people was
on,
mad at me about that.
yeah, well, they tripping. Cause what a lot of people don't know is the Chaldeans that you buying from, you know what I mean? All of these different places, these people racist.
Facts.
They don't give a fuck about you.
Facts.
You feel me? They informants. They got their own background as well, but we still do business with them.
And let me tell you something. This all honesty, right? I respect the fuck out of Charleston White. I may not agree with some of his antics and different things like that, but that man giving back to the community. That man went to a football game, gave 4,000 away to some kids. When I went and interviewed that man had a man with him who had just did like 32 years. Charleston White helped get him out of prison. Not too many guys doing that, man.
For sure.
All honesty, how many guys you know really out here trying to give back to the community and like help push us in the right way? Yeah, some of the things he may say may be crazy and out the way, but shit, like
he really doing that to get the message.
Yeah,
if you really pay attention.
Facts.
You know, even on my end, he done said a few things about the minister, about Farrakhan that I ain't agree with. You know what I mean? But overall, you got to look at the bigger picture. So yeah, man, it was an honor. It was a privilege.
Man,
you get what I'm saying?
Let
And
me tell you something, bro. You fire. I really like your platform. I fuck with your platform, bro. You definitely got something special. Like your shit organic and it's real.
I appreciate it, bro.
Man, like I look at this as an honor. Like all honesty, being able to sit down and knowing your story and shit. Like
sure.
I rock with you.
Definitely appreciate it, man. It's been real. You feel me? A lot more to come, man. Y'all, you know, stay tuned for everything that bro got in the works, man, and you know, y'all rocking with the pulse of the culture, man.
No doubt.